Good morning, everyone. It's Christmas morning here. I am away from the busy, bustling North America, and I choose to do that each Christmas. That's a warm tropical breeze blowing through my hair there, so it's kind of a casual presentation today. But I do want to do a message for all of you from Jesus today. This is his day in most people's minds. I think perhaps Christmas is less of an important celebration for me because, well, he's on my mind all the time and we hang out together a lot. So this message is for all of you who are tuning into your computers. Perhaps you've had a busy shopping leading up to Christmas. Perhaps you're alone. Perhaps you are wondering why you're doing what you're doing. Perhaps you are loving what you're doing. Everyone's going to have a different experience, and I think that's the most important thing from my own personal point of view, is that you actually have free will in what you choose to do. And I think that's the message of all of these teachings, is coming back to a place where you are following your heart's guidance, you are following your true map to the life that you want to experience here. This one incarnation is all you get. I believe in multiple lives, but in this particular form, in this particular body, in this particular personality, this is it for you. So I wish you all a wonderful, happy time, whatever you choose to do. And I will bring Ananda through, and then we'll bring Jesus through, and we'll see what they have as a message for us today. Hopefully the sound is good. I have an air conditioner on behind me, but I'm hoping this microphone will solve that problem. I will see you at the end of the session. Okay, bye. Oh, we're with you again, dear ones. For all of you that are joining us, watching us in this particular transmission, we want you to know that these transmissions are very, very important in being a guiding light for you towards your ascension. Now, you have a lot of programming that guides you away from your ascension. And this is the most important message that we have for you today. Your guidance from within your own heart, feelings of joy, feelings of happiness, feelings of satisfaction, are your signposts that you are on the right track, that you have been following your heart, that you have been doing what your inner voice has been guiding you to do. Now, at Christmas time, many of you get to feel very intensely that you are not on track. And this is the great benefit of this day, of this season for all of you. You may regret doing some things that you've done this year. You may feel that despite your greatest efforts, you are not happy. And this season, because of its intense focus on joy and happiness, and that you are meant to be feeling those things, it is a tremendous contrast for those of you who are not feeling those things. But we want to encourage you today, for those of you that are feeling frightened, or for those of you that are feeling confused or disillusioned, or just plain fed up with what is going on, we want you to know that those feelings are your spirit guides speaking to you. Your connection to the divine speaking to you, saying, well, if you do not like what is happening here, you must do something different. Now, the word do comes into that sentence. You must do something different. But we want you to begin the transformation. If you are unhappy today, we want you to begin that transformation in your mind, because everything you do physically, every behavior that you exhibit, every choice you make, the words you choose to say, are based on a belief that they are going to bring you what you want. If you look at your life today and you say, this is not what I want, this is not the body that I want, you may be ill or suffering, this is not the family I want, you may be involved in some altercations with family members, you must understand that these miscreations, these unhappy events, are coming from within your decision-making skill. To shift and change that which you are experiencing, you must shift and change that place from which those decisions are made. And that is your belief system. Now, we are not saying anything new today to you. For those of you that have listened to us many, many times, many, many hours, you know the principles of these teachings, but we want you today, in reflection on your Christmas morning, your Christmas afternoon, to really take an hour out of your busy schedule or your numbing schedule, your sad schedule. We'd like you to take yourself out of whatever you normally do and give yourself an hour of quiet contemplation of what has led you up to this point. What is it that you are doing that's not working for you? Whether it's a diet that's creating sickness or obesity in the body, whether it's addiction that's causing disruptions in your relationships and your health, whether it's financial issues where you are constantly behind the 8 ball, worried about money all the time. If these things are what come up in this quiet time of contemplation, know that it is the way you are looking at that situation that is causing it. Now, many of you say, well, there are bigger things going on in the world than my beliefs and my ideas. There are these governments and there are these cutbacks and there are these warmongers. And that is true. But these distortions in your society are created by many minds doing the same thing. If there were not many minds fighting and battling within the confines of that space, the mind, there would not be wars as there are. If you were loving yourself and appreciating yourself, using your skills and educating yourself, training yourself in that particular thing that fascinates you so much, even if it seems impractical, even if it seems as if others may laugh at you, if you honor that guidance, if every one of you honors that guidance and begins to step away from fear of judgment by others, step away from fear of looking strange, step away from financial fear, stepping towards your dream rather than arguing against it, you would see a different world. We are Ananda. We are your guides and teachers, and we want you to use this day, whatever it is for you, whether it is a different kind of holiday. Perhaps some of you are taking a holiday away from busyness and socializing, and that is fine too. Whatever you are doing today, we want you to take an hour to contemplate how well it's going for you. Turn the television off, turn the computer off, take a nice healthy drink into your room. You've got a house full of people, tell them that you're going to take a time out and sit and contemplate how well it's going for you. And be honest, be authentic, and decide, am I loving to myself? Am I kind to myself? Do I honor my guidance? Or am I on a hamster wheel of training that is not mine? To change something, you must first see it and accept that it is so. You cannot change anything in your life until you come into complete awareness of its presence and acceptance that you are fully participating in its creation. So that is our assignment for you, beautiful beings, today. We are here bringing forth teachings through this being, as often as we are able. And this being is a beautiful testament to the practice of forgiveness as a way of healing the mind, clarifying the mind. And you too can be that in your own world. Many of you do not want to be channelers, but you might want to be musicians, you might want to be writers, you might want to be artists. And clarifying the mind and removing those blocks to love's awareness. Love is always present in you, but your awareness of it is diminished in your society. As you clear those blocks through the practice of forgiveness based on A Course in Miracles, you will begin to see where you are sabotaging yourself and where perhaps you are being unloving. We are Ananda, we are your guides and teachers, and now we pass this dear being over to Jesus so he may give you a message today. We will speak to you again soon. You are here on purpose and you are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. And this sacred day in your society is a beautiful opportunity to reveal to yourself your true nature. What is your true nature? Your true nature is that awareness that can look at something and step back from it and see that it is not good, or see that it is kind, or see that it is confusing. It is that part of your consciousness that is always present, has always been present. Indeed, it was present before your birth, and it will be present after your death, your physical body's death. That part of you is timeless and loving, and is not attached to winning the tiny battles that take place in your horizontal world. This battleground that is duality. It is above that battleground. And if you get immersed in fights, if you get immersed in material desires, if you get immersed in addictions, you stay in that horizontal dualistic world where there is good and evil, where there is birth and death, where there is war, famine, disease, where there are temporary joys, but they are not lasting joys. They are not a lasting and profound peace. And that is what we are seeking to bring you. We are seeking to bring you a peace that passeth all understanding, a peace that is there whether or not things are going your way, whether or not there is abundance, financial abundance or material abundance in your world, an ability to identify with that connected part of you, that loving part of you, that peaceful, ever-present part of you. When you look at a new baby and you see into its eyes, that little baby has not yet been trained. That little baby has not yet been taught to be quiet when it wants to say something, to shut up when it is unhappy, and you will see it expressing itself fully and completely. It will tell you when it is not having a good time. But as you go through your society's training programs, that connection to that knowing that this is working for you or not working for you is distorted and changed. It is corrupted. And that corruption reveals itself to you as an adult in sadness, addiction, sorrow, joy, dysfunction, pain, and suffering. We are here once again in this realm, this physical earth plane, but we are speaking through a different microphone this time. I do not have my own body active. I do not have my own corporeal system active. I am choosing to speak through many other beings. And yes, this is not the only being through whom I bring this message of love and peace. But I bring it through this being because she prepared herself for this message. She stepped back from the battleground. She stepped above the battleground and she began to seek peace rather than anything else. And in that practice, she calmed her ego. She dissolved some of the barriers to these conversations, and she lifted herself up into more alignment with her true nature. Now, this being is not enlightened, and that is the process to which she is heading. That is the process that I experienced in my last physical incarnation, and that is the process that you are all now being asked to join in. There is an end of spiritual season happening. Just as you come to the end of your solar year, the 21st of December, whether you are in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, the sun begins to change direction, and the amount of light that you get begins to change. For some of you, it begins to increase. For some of you, it begins to decrease. But that is a natural season. It is a shift, a change, a cycle that you all are aware of. But there are greater cycles in this universe than you have been allowed to be aware of. If you had been educated properly, and that is what we have been attempting to do, many other spiritual teachers and masters have been attempting to do, through the practice of forgiveness, loving kindness, compassion, through those practices that have come in various messages from various beings into all cultures on this plane, there has been a persistent and repeated message to aim for peace, to aim for love, because that is what you need to accomplish to graduate this particular phase of your evolution as a society, as a planet, as a group mind. You are a group mind, despite what you have been taught. When we step back from your beautiful planet, we see the potential that is being lost through battle, through self-loathing, through hatred of others, judgment of others. And in your ignorance, you are creating wars. You do not realize it, but you are creating wars in the cellular structure of your body. You are creating wars in your families. You are creating wars in your world. And what creates a war but separation? What creates a war but judgment? What creates a war but unkindness? And that is the frequency that you must assess in your own body, mind, experiential place today. Where am I warring? Where am I unkind? Where am I unforgiving? Because you are a part of a collective. And it is time now for the collective to come together in peace, in love, in compassion, and really assess where you are falling short of those aspirations. We do not bring you this message to punish you. We do not bring this message to frighten you. We bring this message to reveal to you a law, a natural law that is playing out, which is that there is the beginning of a season and the end of a season. And this end of season, this spiritual end of season, is fast approaching. You have had these teachings of peace and love from me for 2,000 years, but they were hijacked, they were usurped, and they were twisted and turned a little bit and became very confusing. But we want you to know that the teachings that are coming through this being are accurate, loving, kind, and will bring you more peace, and they will allow you to graduate this grade in your spiritual evolution. This year is the year that you must apply these principles to your own experience. Graduation is coming, and we want you all to be with us as we go into this new graduate program. I am that one that you know as Jesus. I was not born on Christmas Day, as you have been taught. I was born at another time of the year, but when I was born, a body was created, but my consciousness was not created at that time. And that is one of the reasons this being does not do a great hoopla on Christmas, because this is a celebration of the birth of my body. And just as Easter is a celebration of the death of my body, these are ancient rituals that no longer apply. It is time now for you to evolve above worshipping birth and death. Time now to respect and honor your eternal spiritual nature, my eternal spiritual nature, and my brotherhood with you, my sisters and brothers. We are all on the same journey along the road from fear to love. And that is what we want you to think about today. Where are you fearful? Where are you limited? Where are you controlling or judgmental or jealous? These are all forms of fear. Begin to let go of that a little bit today. Begin to accept that this particular choice or this particular form of expression is not working for you. And bring to mind in your peaceful contemplation today that which you want more of, that which you love, that which you are seeking to express in this incarnation. That is your true guidance coming through in your feeling self. But you must give yourself a little space, a little quiet, a little time to have that realization, those appreciations, those confusions. You must give them a little space so that they may percolate up into your consciousness. For many of you are so busy buying and eating and cooking and talking that you do not have any self-awareness about the internal world that is creating the external world that you live in and experience. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we are, as a collective, many teachers, many highly evolved beings, we are working with you today. And if you take that quiet contemplative time today, we will show up and we will give you some answers to your questions. It may be in the idea of a memory that is crippling you. It may be an unforgiveness that is poisoning your mind and heart. It may be an inspiration for something beautiful to create. Do not go to this contemplation with preconceived ideas of what is best, what is right, what you should see, but stay open and peaceful, and you will see the very thing that you need to see, that you need to understand, and that will be your Christmas gift from us. We will speak to you again soon. All right. Sun's just coming up here where I am in the tropics. It's really hot in the daytime, and I know those of you who are cold don't care about that, but it's snowing at home for me. I want to say hello to my family and friends. I want to thank all of the people who are in my live streaming group. I won't mention individual names. I don't want to upset anyone for not being mentioned. You all know who you are. I've had a tremendous year of growth and self-understanding, and look forward to creating some new exciting experiences in the new year. Have a wonderful Christmas day. I send you love and hope you get what you want in the gift that is being offered to you by these wonderful, wonderful beings. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.